Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday afternoon. We are so excited to have you guys here as part of the St. Louis Arts Chamber of Commerce's inaugural virtual art expo. We're having so much fun talking with all of our different artists and looking at all of their beautiful art. We're going to switch gears up a little bit. We had painting a bit ago. Now we are going to go to dance, which is always fun to talk to different types of artists. So we are here with Consuming Kinetics Dance Company, and I've got two lovely ladies that I am going to toss the mic over to you guys and have you introduce yourselves, because I love hearing from the artists as they introduce themselves rather than me like reading stuff. So the floor is yours. Who are you guys from, and what do you do?
My name is Arica Brown, and I'm the founder, artistic, and executive director of Consuming Kinetics Dance Company, or CKDC.
I'm Ashreale McDowell, and I am the assistant artistic and executive director of CKDC.
That's amazing. So thank you, ladies, so much for being here. This is so exciting to be able to kind of like take a sneak peek into areas that we wouldn't be able to do if we were sitting in a tent at an art fair somewhere. So this is kind of a fun thing to do, to be able to take a look in. So obviously we've got two cameras set up, so hopefully people can see the studio, which is really cool. So tell me, where are you guys located? What are we looking at?
Oh, so we're located in the Central West End area, right off of North Taylor and Olive. So sort of in like the center of everything, so that we can have access to those who may not be able to afford dance classes and those who are on, I guess, a higher, how would you say that, higher status, higher, I don't know.
We just really like our position in the Central West End because, like Ashreale said, it allows us to reach people in need, which is part of our mission. But also people are in this community who can't afford services, which help us keep open and keep our mission alive.
Absolutely. So tell us more about your mission. I presume that we can come see your performances, and obviously it sounds like I can come take a dance lesson, but like, how did you guys get started? What kind of programs do you offer?
Yeah, so that's a loaded question there, Jessica. So you don't have to talk for the rest of the 25 minutes.
I'll sit back. I'll just go.
Your job is done.
Sit back and relax, and we're never going to shut up.
I love it.
So,
oh man, she's taking a drink. She's getting Ashreale like getting ready. She's like, okay, here we go. I love it. Let's start with how you guys got started.
Sure. So I founded CKDC in 2009, right out of college. I went to school as an English major, and I took some dance classes. I found my passion, and I switched my major. And I knew that choreography was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, but I didn't know how I would do that, especially coming into the art form so late. And so I really started CKDC sort of as a club for recent graduates and older adults who got away from dance, but still really identified as movement artists. And for many years, we just went around the city doing community and cultural events like National Dance Week St. Louis that happens every year. And formally in the fall, we also used to do something similar to that, dancing in the streets. And so all those things were kind of how we got our start. I had a full-time job in IT. I couldn't have anticipated the momentum that we gained in those early years. We found that there were a lot of adults that wanted to come into our rehearsals, but it wasn't necessarily because they wanted to be on stage. They didn't want to be professional dancers. There was just, back in 2009, very limited resources for adult classes. So that's how the education program was born. So we do, really like people to know that we're a professional contemporary dance company. We do 2 full-length dance concerts every year. We are residents of the Kranzberg Arts Foundation, and so we host both those full-length concerts in their venues each year. We still do many community and cultural events, including some major headliners like the Balloon Glow, the Balloon Races, Fair St. Louis. So we still do those same things that we got our start with, National Dance Week and similar events, but yeah, we've expanded. We do a lot more these days. And similarly, Ashreale's been in the company for 6 years now. Yeah. And she just came on as a dancer, and she's worked her way up the ranks, as you could say. But similar to myself, she also started dance late. So there's this very welcoming and open sort of culture here at CKDC.
Yes.
Did you want to talk about your
My
Dance.
experience? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how did you come to that?
I'm CKDC in 2015. So yeah, I'm coming up on my 6th year with the company. I was brought on just like, I wasn't a part of the company yet, but they had a dancer that couldn't do an upcoming concert, so I was brought in to fill that place. And I just fell in love with CKDC and everything that CKDC stood for. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And I had been out of college for about 3 years at that point, and I did some work and things like that, but I was still trying to discover, like my dance family and what I wanted to do with my career. And so CKDC was sort of like a blessing. So I'm really excited that I'm here. And like I said, like Arica said, sorry, I kind of worked my way up to this position.
I would say she definitely worked her way up.
Yeah.
Currently, CKDC only has 2 full-time employees. We have an under $200,000 a year operating budget, so
Okay.
I'd say it was pretty competitive for her to get that position. Nailed it.
It seems like it's a perfect match. Like that just.
Arica's also one of my best friends, so it's just
But we met through CKDC. Which is not uncommon among our artist base, but it's also not uncommon in our classrooms. In fact, a lot of people come here from out of town and they take class and they really find their community here and they make connections. So it's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, I always call it my CKDC family. Like I don't say this is like
the dancers
or anything like that. This is my family. So
the family. That's amazing. I love to hear that. That's so fun. And as someone who doesn't do any rhythm of any kind, the coming late to dance, like that's awesome. I maybe have to come take a class. I'm more of the theater side. So the dance side, maybe I need some teaching. My question for you guys is, how did you come up with the name and what does it mean to you?
You're going back to the roots here, Jessica. So first I just have to say that since you have no rhythm, even though dance is the universal language,
yes, it is.
We have a new program that we're launching soon called the Stay Healthy campaign or the Stay Healthy movement. And we have one class in particular that is truly catered towards non-movement artists, people who have never been formally trained. And it's called Dance Movement Therapy. And it's our hope that we can just bring people some light in this dark time. And so we are not even allowing experienced dancers into that class. And it's taught by one of only 5 dance movement therapists in the state of Missouri. So it's just this place to come in and explore free-form movement and find and connect to how that can help you both physically and emotionally. But the name, I'm so embarrassed when people ask me that because I was just really obsessed with kinesiology coming right out of academia. And I love the name kinetic and any variation on that. And then also, even in the early stages, I knew one of my former artists who was one of the original artists in our company, Rye Moorhead, he moved to LA a couple years ago, but he had been with us since the start. And he actually was a colleague of Ashreale's in undergrad. And he exposed me to street arts really early on. So I just wanted from the start for it to be all inclusive. Like, yes, we're a contemporary dance company, but we support street artists and we're going to teach all styles in this educational program. So whatever it was that the company grew to be, it would be all consuming. So I was like, consuming, kinetics, that's ambiguous, all movement, dance company. But, I didn't have a business degree, right? So fast forward 5 years, I've learned a lot about running a business, and there was a period where we thought about rebranding, but unfortunately, we just felt like there's already too much momentum. Yeah. So we're fully going for CKDC now. We identify with our full name. It's great, but it's not always easy in an elevator pitch to say Consuming Kinetics Dance Company.
Right.
Yes, I love it. Like, I mean, it absolutely tells me, like, I don't know, somehow I automatically know that you're contemporary. Like, there is something about it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There is something about it that does very much describe some of the programming that I've seen of you guys. So, there you go. Hopefully that helps. No, but it's amazing. I love it. So this is again, like super broad, and I know you probably get it all the time, but where do you find inspiration for new pieces or new types of classes that you want to offer or different programs, or like, obviously, I think I can guess where the new program is coming from out of inspiration, but can you talk a little bit about where you all find your inspiration as dancers, but also as, classes and that kind of thing?
So for me, for our concerts, we have a different theme each concert, and depending on the theme, which is discussed as a company, the theme that we're going to do, that helps with the inspiration for whatever I decide to choreograph or do. And which is really different because a lot of companies, they do a lot of what's the word, repertoire work.
They do, yeah. So the concerts end up being more of a variety. I wouldn't want to say a variety show because usually they have some sort of identifier. And also you see some of the same works year after year if you patronize the same companies. And so we really strive to be contemporary in everything, not just in the style of the art form that we're, performing, but also our concert themes tend to be really current, whether it's something going on politically or in the world, or even just immediately in our community or in our walls. Like every concert has a theme, and that, like Ashreale said, is the umbrella, and therefore it drives every choreographer's individual interest and take on how they're going to pursue their piece. And then within the company, we are really, again, inclusive in everything that we do and collaborative in nature. So anyone in our company gets to submit a proposal. If we don't have enough proposals that we accept to move forward on for each individual concert, then we also hire guest choreographers. And they are also held to those standards of working under our umbrella. So for the 2020 season, which unfortunately got canceled, we're kind of copy pasting that to 2021 because we still feel really motivated by our concert themes, but they were intentionally very current. So in the spring, it was human disturbance, and that was about our human impact on Earth. So surprise, surprise, pandemic. I mean, that was so unreal how aligned those were. And then in the fall, we had intentionally built Revolution, which is a concert about social justice right around the time of the election. So these things are still current. They also fed into the work that we're doing right now, which Jessica, you alluded to. You could probably guess what we're doing right now. We are building a dance for film, and we just named it today. It's called Prevail. It's called Prevail, but it'll be spelled out using the phonetic characters.
Okay.
And it has 4 parts. It has like a view of us before the pandemic hit. And then the second movement is the stay-at-home order, just showing artists in their homes in isolation. The third movement is a Black Lives Matter mission, where it starts with Ashreale on a solo, and everyone comes in to support her to show their solidarity during this time. And then that kind of thread of connectiveness and support goes throughout us just supporting each other and prevailing or persevering as artists. And we just see it as sort of like, I don't know, some type of gift to artists during this time and a testament to their tenacity.
Yes, and what we do like matters. Like art, like the world can't survive without art. Like that's how I feel, and I think that, which is really sad, the arts are suffering a lot during this time.
While people are at home consuming entertainment and arts more than ever.
Yes.
It's like such, it's demoralizing, and it's hurtful to the artists that create the works that people are consuming, that they don't feel drawn to invest in those things that are so important to them.
Yes, absolutely. And that's kind of the irony that we have gotten through. A lot of people have been entertained by all kinds of different artists of just all varieties. And yet we sit here and, we support small businesses on this weekend, which is wonderful. And we at the Chamber want to remind everyone that artists are small businesses. And so sometimes we forget that. So that's one of the reasons that we exist, is to give that support and make sure you guys get the support you need.
We've coined Nonprofit Sunday.
We're
like, there's Black Friday, there's Small Business Saturday, there's Cyber Monday, Nonprofit Sunday.
I like that. So we've got Giving Tuesday on Tuesday. So that's, but there's actually a movement called #Artist Sunday. And so that's what we're tagging on. Yes. So you guys are like ahead of the curve. There you go.
Look at me go.
We're like, we figured it out. Yeah.
Well,
So
everybody listening in right now for Nonprofit Sunday, just so you know, we never, ever, ever discount our gift certificates, and they're on sale on our shop.
Yes.
ckdc.org/shop. Feel free to check them out. And
custom made too.
They are. You get to put your own special message on them and get the gift of experience this year.
I love that, a personalized gift card, because I do kind of hate giving gift cards. I mean, I like getting them, but like it does feel weird. So is that like for me to give to my mom so she can go do a dance class? Like she can kind of pick
dance movement therapy. You can take Afro jazz with Ashreale. We have classes too, which we're really known for our youth program. And it's one of our most philanthropic components because we give out unlimited need-based scholarships. They are totally not merit-based at all.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you mentioned a couple of times your company. Obviously, that's what you are. How many? So the two of you are like full-time staff, right? You are the all the things. But how big do you grow? Like when you go to a concert or when you have classes, how big is your company?
So yeah, we've got about 35 contracted artists that work with us. At least 30 of them, I say, are movement artists. Most of them are in the company. Only a very few of them are in a new version of our company, which is a pickup company. So they'll do gig-based work. These are artists that are mostly just street dancers, and they also teach some classes for us. And then that other handful, 5 or so artists are video, audio engineer, photographer, and graphic designer.
That's amazing. I love it. And I love the phrase that you use, movement artists. Like more than just dancers. Like that is, that's wonderful. I always love chatting with other types of artists just because I get to pick that stuff up and hear from you guys. And it's, I can't wait till we get back to whatever normal is, but we can at least all be in the same place without a mask. And just because your enthusiasm is like literally coming through the screen and it's so exciting. I love it. It's so much fun. So I have to ask, do you have a favorite piece that you have created and performed, or maybe not performed yet, but like that you've created? Do you guys have a favorite?
So we as a company had a favorite piece as a whole company a couple of seasons ago. One of our artists, Olivia Perez.
Oh yeah.
It was the first piece she had ever choreographed. And I think
that's the second one.
Oh, second.
That's the second one.
First one on a professional company?
Second one. She choreographed a concert before that.
Okay.
And so the second one was with all Black. So it was the second
one. And it was mostly, 95% completely of her design, but she was really open to outside input, but not in the way that we're collaborating on this Dance for Film project where we're all equal contributors choreographically. Olivia choreographed this piece, but she had a small cast of like 5 artists. 5 of us. Ashreale was in it. Everyone contributed. And then she was one of the few choreographers that during feedback sessions, like really took the feedback that we gave and applied it in the second and the third version. And everyone in the company, we were just gaga over that piece. We were just like, it has so much energy. It's so athletic, yet so structured. That was one of our favorite pieces. Like everyone just loved it. And you were sitting on the edge of your seat every time you watched it.
That's so cool. That's cool that that's a company answer. Like the fact that everybody was like, that's the one.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite pieces I've choreographed was for a concert we did called Take Root. We had gone through a period of turmoil as a company. We got thrown out of a space we had rented for many years, and we just finally felt like we were putting our roots down. And so that was an example of a concert that was really current to us as a community of artists. And we worked with a textile artist who had created this giant fabric net that connected from ceiling to floor. And I put one of my artists in it, and she choreographed, or I choreographed collaboratively with her. She did a movement solo to open this piece completely inside this highly restricted textile installation. And it was so beautiful. I think for one of the evenings, she wasn't wearing a top at all. And just so you could see the lines of her body, like it wasn't, you could hardly tell as an audience member, but the body against the fabric with the right lighting, it was just so beautiful.
I agree. I love that.
That's amazing. I love it. Wow, I got chills. That's amazing.
Apparatus, but I was in the
Wow. So kind of a related question, but what's the hardest piece about working with your medium, like with your body, with in dance? Like what's the hardest part about it?
You always have to take care of your body because it's your instrument. And I mean, that should go for everyone. You should always be taking care of your body no matter what. But I feel like as a dancer, you have to really, really pay attention and really, really like, Arica does a class called Body Work. And it's changed my life. And I think that I take care of my body pretty well, but like this class I don't know, I just find new things. I'm like, oh my God, like this is why my hip is hurting. Like if I just do this, like, ooh, and like, you know, you want to just keep doing all the right things so that you can dance for a longer time. You don't want to be like 30, 35, like, oh, I can't dance anymore. So I just think that's the hardest thing, is just always finding time to take care of your body so that you can use it longer.
And as a choreographer, like dance is so ephemeral. So it's like you put something on stage, you maybe get 100 people in there at a night if it sells out, which we typically do, and that's it. You can document it on video, but like an archive footage that's not going to disrupt the audience or the dancers from the back of the house. It doesn't at all begin to communicate what you feel when you're in that intimate black box, which are the type of spaces that we perform in intentionally.
Okay.
And you put months of work. And then this is something too that sometimes the general public doesn't understand. People will email us and ask us to come and do a whole concert for them, and then they're shocked when they see the price tag, and we're lowballing it. Like, no one ever in the world got a full-length dance concert for a couple $1,000s. We were trying to make it work for you. Yeah. But I think people don't understand that because you are working with human bodies and schedules, the amount of work that goes into a single dance concert, 4 months of rehearsals, 5 days a week with no breaks to take it to stage, and then production week, you're in there all day, every day for 7-8 days straight. And I think it's hard for people to comprehend who haven't done that, first and foremost. And then as a choreographer, no length of time is ever enough time to perfect your dance. Yes. And even the most talented movement artist still has inconsistencies in their body, imbalances in their body, places where their mind and body is not connected as much as we would like them to be. So it's not like when you're working with paint and you have your paintbrush and you can apply it and keep doing it until you get it just right. These are living, breathing human instruments. So you can do your best to give them as much feedback, give them as much visualization to go off of. But when push comes to shove and they get on the stage and the lights go up and the music comes on, they're doing a version of what you created. They're doing a version of what you had a vision of.
Right. That's and it is, it's just we can do all these virtual things, but until we're back, whatever our normal way will be, but that being in the same room and experiencing a human something together, we can do all these things, but it feels different. So
if you've never been in a dance concert that was in an intimate viewing space either, I highly recommend anyone watching, you can feel the breath, like you can hear them breathing. And to me, it's part of our identity. It's what we're known for. Like the Kranzbergs have been so kind to us. We started at the Kranzberg Arts Center, and then we moved into the Marcel, and now we're selling out the Marcel. So we need to step up, but we still really passionately want to stay in the black box medium, because there's something magical that happens in that space that we totally cannot do during the pandemic. And we hope that our dance for film coming up in Christmas will be somewhat of a substitute for the kind of work that we normally do, and we hope that it will light up people's lives. And we're also, I should say, very very grateful for the Missouri Arts Council for supporting the work. But
that's awesome. Well, you kind of alluded to, or kind of answered this question a little bit, but I will ask it because I'm asking everybody. Since we are supporting small businesses and really making sure that people see artists as small business owners, what do you wish people knew about the business of your art? You talked about it a little bit of like the cost of a concert is not what you think, but is there anything else there?
There's always so much. Do you want me to say? Yes, Jessica, you hit the nail on the head when you said we're small business owners. Like, I humbly stepped down as the owner when I got my nonprofit approval and I became a founder. I was originally a sole proprietor, just doing this on my own. And truthfulness, other than the support of many, many people, very, very part-time, I've been doing this on my own for a really long time until this year when Ashreale came on. And still to this day, I think people know us and I think people understand the work that we do here. And I'm outside and back talking to one of our tenants in our building who's now a good friend of mine. We have residents upstairs. And he, asked me to do something. And then I was like, well, let me check my calendar. And he was like, well, what do you do all day before you come and teach class? And it's like, I run payroll, balance the books, I run a business, I command 3 different staffs of humans, the artist staff, the youth group that's in professional development. I teach about 15 hours a week, so that's about 15 hours of prep for each class that I teach, and the list goes on. And then what we do is extraordinary because most dance companies have a focus, whether it be performance, and that's all they do, they're running that one business. Or you're a dance studio and you open just to offer adult dance classes, and that's one business. Or you're a dance school that opens just to teach kids how to dance. Well, that's one business. Well, we do all 3 of them because we're crazy people. Like, our mission is to make dance accessible and expose the healing art of movement in our communities. And we're gonna do that in as many ways as we possibly can, so long as we have the sanity and the resources to do it.
The sanity, yes.
I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, I think people don't realize all the work it takes to do art. And so that's one of the reasons we're trying to highlight it and giving long form opportunities, because we can't go be in your studio. We can't go hang out right now.
There's like a lot of demand as an arts organization too, to look a certain way. Like, we are an arts organization, so the way that we post information to the public has to be artistic in nature. We can't just go chicken scratching something up and put it out there and think that we're going to have a following. Like, it's just not realistic, nor is it what we want. Like, we have branding language and we have graphic designers, and everything that we do is really intentional. So there is an egregious amount of work, I would say, that goes on behind the scenes that many people don't know or don't understand. But we've been really, I think, fortunate to be supported by people, and some have even gotten pretty close to us and do understand and do try to contribute and help where they can.
That's amazing. I love it. I'm so glad you're giving the shout outs to the supporters, and obviously all of those people who make art possible. Is, we love them. We love our supporters. We love sponsors. We love all of them, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do. So that is our time. Unless you guys have anything else that you need to put out into the world that we didn't talk about.
Yes,
we do. Do you want to talk about the auditions?
Yes. So we have upcoming virtual auditions starting December 1st. Okay. So we're really excited about that. We're also hosting junior company, so you can come and audition from 13 to 18, 13 to 8, no, 13 to 19. To 19. So we're really excited about that. So it's all virtual. Be on the lookout for our graphics and things like that. But you can go to www.ckdc.org/auditions for more information.
We also want to let everybody in our live chat know about many ways that we're pivoting right now. We observed the stay-at-home order, and we finished out our youth season in virtual classes using Zoom as a platform, just like this. We did come back together in August, and we were hosting all of our youth classes outdoors, and we had a lot of success with that. We had a full season, a full semester, 100% COVID-free. Yes. There were no positive cases in our studio of 60 students and 10 teachers, and it was so magical. We also do have adult classes in all the different ways that you want to have a class right now. We have Zoom classes. We have online on-demand library that is growing, and it has everything you can think of: dance, fitness, stretch, beginning to advanced. And then we also have in-person classes. You have to wear a mask. We do have air purifiers here, and you have to take your temperature at the door. We take your temperature at the door, and we have a limited capacity, obviously, so you'll have to sign up in advance to make sure you don't miss. And then last, we would love anyone's support on our flocking challenge. Yes. It is so cool. Last weekend, we performed for residents at Bernard Westkind Nursing Home. And before that, we started filming a performance that will be aired to all of the patients at St. Louis Children's Hospital.
Yes.
So if you
That's very cool.
Yeah, so if you want to support our overall goal to get that in front of the children at St. Louis Children's Hospital, please check out our fundraising link on Gratitude. It's called the Flocking Challenge. Any donation helps us with our overall goal. We are only a few $1,000s away from the finish line. but there's also perks for bigger donors. For $200, you can have someone served, like a hip hop artist can go serve you in a dance battle.
Yes.
So you can
That's funny.
potentially to someone that likes to dance, or as a joke.
Yes.
Like if you want to like make someone laugh. Or for $500, you can order a flock, and so 5 or more of us will show up at your home, your work at a scheduled date and time, or you can send the flock to a friend, family. And I can't tell you how rewarding it was to perform to the residents at West Pine. Like for 30 straight minutes, they watched us flock in the rain, umbrellas and all.
Yes.
Like it was unreal. So we, again, like I said earlier in the interview, we are just committed to furthering our mission of making dance accessible and spreading the healing joy of dance, whether that's in the classroom or as a spectator. And we hope that everyone listening in can help us continue to do that this season.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys so much. We are going to try to do everything we can as the Arts Chamber to lift you up and elevate and set. So if you're watching live or on the replay, just make sure you go down, check out their booth, go check out their flocking challenge and send a flock somewhere. But we also, I wanted to say thank you for all of the really amazing, like you said, in the can, like on demand items that are in our event page. So you can go check them out, see if that's something you like, and then go possibly take a class or what have you. Thank you for running down all of those things. That was amazing. And to everybody else, we will see you soon. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the Art Expo. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
I put our contact information in the chat if anyone wants to reach out.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Art Chamber.